Good morning, and welcome to episode 2 of the Powerpuff Babes podcast, where sugar meets spice and everything nice. We're your hosts, Kat, Allie, and Mo. Today is a very special yet sad day. Today, Monday, January 17th, is what would be, or what would have been, Betty White's 100th birthday. Since Betty was a fierce animal rights advocate who spent her adult life tirelessly working for animal rights, a lot of fans are celebrating and honoring her by donating to their local animal shelter and caring for for abandoned and abused animals. Rest in peace, Betty White, and happy 100th birthday. Today, we are also celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day. He was an American Baptist minister and activist who became the most visible spokesman and leader in American civil rights movement from 1955 to 1968. Excuse me. In one of Mr. King's very motivating speeches, he said, "Keep moving, for it may well be that the greatest song has not been sung yet. The greatest book has not been written, and the highest mountain has not been climbed. This is your challenge. Reach out and grab it. But there is something we can learn from the broken grammar of that mother, that we must keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Thank you, Mr. King, for everything you've done and continuing to motivate others to keep fighting for racial equality when it seems unending. Such diverse people, yet two amazing activists who did great things in their own right." Jesus, excuse me. Ooh, I got a dry throat. Pardon me. Um,
You did?
I
Betty
don't.
White has actually been in a lot of movies and shows. Um, to which I feel like the most iconic shows was like one of the biggest things in her career. But what shows and movies have you guys seen her in?
I've mainly seen her in The Golden Girls. I used to watch that a lot with my mom. I don't remember too much, but her character was very silly, but she was very much the light of the show, I guess you could say. She obviously made everybody laugh, and she always just not even like just everybody, she always had these quick remarks. She always has throughout her whole life too. She was basically the Rose in real
Mm.
life. She was she was a very funny lady, but she also cared a lot.
Have you seen her in anything else, Allie, or was it just Golden Girls as well?
I looked it up because I feel like I might have been wrong earlier when I said that I hadn't seen her in
Mm-hmm.
anything. Apparently, I had no clue. She played someone in the Lorax.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that either.
She played. Oh, she played the grandma. That fits because the grandma was hilarious. I loved the grandma from the Lorax. And she played someone in Toy Story. Let's see, who did she play in Toy
Yeah, I
Story?
was going to say, like I was gonna do like this little "Did you know" segment, where she actually played like a little tiger toy
Oh yeah,
in Toy
she was.
Story,
Wait.
and
I remember, I
they called
remember
her
hearing about
Bitey White, which I thought was really
yeah.
cute.
I remember hearing about that like the day she died. A lot of people posted on TikTok like the little clip that she's in.
Mm.
But I noticed in looking through all of this, I have actually seen the proposal. Um,
Oh yeah.
with Sandra Bullock,
Mm.
she is in that. I
I feel like
completely
she
think from
was
her
my
being
favorite like character in that specific movie, The
that movie
Proposal.
made me laugh all the way around. I'm not even gonna lie. So,
Yes, it was so good.
but yeah, I just upon looking up all of this realized that she was in that. So I have seen the movie that Betty White is in. It would be the
Yeah.
proposal.
I
But that is pretty much it besides Golden Girls.
right. I remember she was in that 70s show for a
Really?
couple of for a couple of episodes. Yeah, she would I believe she would hang out with I don't remember everybody's like names cuz it's been so long since I watched it.
Yeah.
Um but I remember she would hang out with the mom, the guy's mom. I forget their names. But yeah, she was one of the she was like a guest on the show for like a couple of episodes, and she was really funny in those. She was also in actually me and Mo were talking about it earlier. She was also in the animated series for Hercules. She was playing one of the Greek goddesses in that as
What?
well. So she was in a lot of
A movie or
things,
a
like a lot of
series?
movies and shows. I didn't know that there was a series until I looked it up.
There's a yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
Yeah.
an
wow.
animated
Oh,
series for Hercules, and I
I
did not know that.
I did
I
not
just found
know.
that out.
Now, what in the world?
I
I
honestly
like
You
did
should
the
not know.
definitely watch it.
and they're like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I love the Hercules movie. It's literally one of my favorites.
An oldie but a goodie.
Mm.
Definitely.
But yeah, I didn't when I looked up like what she's been on, I didn't know that she was in Toy Story 4 or that even there was this animated series for Hercules, and I was like that made me think like what else is there that we don't know about that we should
No,
know about.
really. Because
You
I
know,
had
there's past to
no
be a
clue.
lot. No, I know there's this one fact, and that's pretty much how a lot of people also know her is that she's older than sliced bread.
Oh.
Like,
Really?
the first piece, I think the first thing of sliced bread was sold after Betty White was born. Like,
You're
hold on.
not wow.
I had no clue that was a thing. I have never heard that fact about her, but that is interesting. Imagine being older than sliced bread. Like
Yeah,
someone was like, I'm gonna slice this bread, and you just happened to be born before that.
Mm.
'cause sliced bread was actually invented in 1928.
Oh.
Imagine living in a world without sliced bread.
And then Betty
Cut your own.
Well,
was
she's
born
lived
in
through that, so
1922. She
I'm
had
just
to
like,
live
you have to
6
slice your
years
own
without
bread.
mm.
She was
She
really
was
having PBs and J's having to slice her own bread. Well,
Mm.
probably not her because she would have been a child, but like her parents.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And they just
So
never thought anything about it until somebody was like,
her
what
parents
about
probably bought the first.
pre-sliced?
They probably bought their first pre-sliced bread when she was 6 years old.
That's crazy.
Imagine.
Like she's not even a toddler anymore. She's a whole grown child.
Right.
I would think she'd still be little, but I can't believe sliced bread isn't actually that old. Like it hasn't even been 100 years yet.
I know. Like you would think that's something that's been around for ages, but it hasn't.
That's wild.
It really is. Like just thinking about all the inventions and stuff, it's like some of the stuff has been around not even that long. Recently, less than 100 years, just over 100 years.
Mm.
It's crazy. Just let's I mean it's a testament to, if anything, like don't think that you can't make anything, invent anything in this day and age because things are, not even that old.
She's older than Scotch tape, canned beer, the electric traffic sign, obviously.
Yeah.
Frozen food. She's older than frozen food.
Wow.
Yo.
Before 1929, frozen food was not a thing. She's
That's
older than
crazy.
bubblegum. Let's see. She's older than birth control.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
That's
older than a
crazy, dude.
trampoline.
Ugh. My mouse is doing that thing where it's like, oh, I'll turn off on my own, but you can't use it. Then I end up having to bang it on the damn desk.
That's literally insane to just
She's
think
older
about
than a
when things were made and the fact that
she's
she's older than them.
Did
she's older than
you
a ballpoint pen.
Imagine
what?
needing to do like a school project and not
And
having
not have a
tape. What
pen
did they
or
use?
tape, yeah.
Yeah, like obviously a pencil for the pen,
Oh
duh.
yeah.
But like for tape, like what were they using? Painter's tape or staples? I don't even know if staples were around then.
I don't think staples were around by then.
What were they using?
No.
I mean, it's
Like
the
They
what?
probably
olden
folded
days,
that little
man.
tab, like when you fold the little corner of your paper, like I guess kind of, you know what I mean, to kind of keep it together.
Mm.
I think that's
I
what they
don't
were
think
Yeah,
doing.
they've
maybe.
done that,
Or
but
I don't know,
probably honestly.
how old are paper clips?
Um, Yeah, I'm not even certain. That's
Mm.
just crazy to think about, though.
Oh no,
Like,
she had
she
paper
wasn't
clips.
too old. Oh,
Oh,
they
she had
probably
paper
just
clips. Oh, okay then.
Yeah,
Nice.
they were designed in 1896, so like a little bit before she was born.
When were
Damn.
staples? If you could look that up
Yeah.
really,
Can you look that
because
up? I actually am very curious.
I know I'm like, what did she have in her young life?
Like, what does
She
she have at her disposal?
she was probably the definition of the kids just playing outside with sticks and dirt.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
definitely.
literally only had sticks and dirt.
Literally only. I don't even do how old are like playgrounds.
I mean, I had sticks and dirt, but
Well,
not
in order
because
for
I
you to
didn't have
find out
toys,
how
because I felt like it.
right, I was gonna
I was
say.
over here making mud pies and giving
Oh
stuff to my
man.
mom. Mom, look what I made. You want to eat my mud pie? And she was like, yeah. Coming in with a
She had
styrofoam
like
bowl
a
full of
little
dirt.
yeah, or like a little bucket, a wooden bucket, and it's just got dirt, mud, and some grass. And she's like,
Yeah.
"Here, I made you a cake," and they're like, "Lovely," and she's
Mm.
cutting it with like a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flavors are melting on my tongue.
That's
Oh,
crazy. I can't believe that.
crazy old
Wow.
times, man.
Literally. Like, it's crazy to think about. Like, she could really look back on a time where she didn't have, like, a pen.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and she would have been like, it was an
tape.
okay time. Like,
I know. I had
If she
pencils. It's whatever.
if she would have had kids, she literally would have been the parent that was like, when I was your age, I didn't have this or that.
yeah,
Literally.
exactly.
She had the perfect gateway to be like, when I was your age.
That's
That's crazy.
crazy, dude. Insane. Oh
And
man.
knowing that she didn't remarry because, like, she wanted to, like, still be with him.
Oh
It's
yeah, when
like,
she like
oh my goodness.
to know that her last words were his name. What was it, Alan?
Yeah, Alan.
That is
Yeah,
like,
Ellen.
That
oh
hurts.
my god.
Like, my
Like she
poor
was
heart.
like her friends had made like or like they were in an interview and they were like, yeah, when we found out that her last words were Alan, it was like we knew for sure that she was gonna be okay because she was gonna be finally reunited with him.
She's with him.
Oh,
And I was just like, oh,
My
I was like,
heart.
Betty.
It's so
I had
crazy, though. Like, to think that, like, there's no, more lineage from her just because he passed away so soon.
Mm,
And she was like, I'm not being with anybody else. Like,
mm,
that's just so powerful, almost.
mm, right.
Like, she was like, this is who I want. This is my soulmate. There's nobody else. So I'm just going to wait for him. And that's crazy. That's beautiful.
that
Very.
is very beautiful.
It's like she knew. And I mean,
Oh,
when you know, you know. So
Oh,
that's so sad, but so like so nice.
yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely
it's
given me
nice to
mixed
know.
feelings of happiness and a little bit of
Yeah,
sadness.
a little bit of sadness,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm just happy that she's able to like be reunited with him, and
Yeah, no, she's definitely with him right now.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I'm happy for her that they're back together.
Oh yeah.
Did you actually? I didn't know this, but she was actually in SNL, Saturday Night Live, and I
I
did
Oh
believe
not
I
yeah.
know
might
she
have
was on
seen a
there.
few clips. I mean, she was hilarious, so I'm not surprised
She was
that she would
naturally
have been.
hilarious.
Oh
That
yeah.
woman
She
could open her
was.
mouth and make the entire room laugh.
Oh.
No, literally, she was funny,
Yeah.
What an
like
icon.
effortlessly. She could have made it as a comedian, like she didn't need to, obviously, but like if
Yeah,
she
for
wanted
sure.
to be a comedian, she
Oh
would have had
yeah.
everybody dying laughing, for sure.
Thinking away she was a comedian.
Yeah, definitely. But like just being her, she was a comedian.
A
All
comedian
she had
at
to be
heart.
was herself.
Yeah, all she
Mm.
really needed was herself, and she would have been fine.
I mean, the best kind of comedians are themselves, in my opinion. So
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
ones that use life stories and all that good stuff. Maybe embellish a little bit because, you know, some things are only funny in the time being, so you exaggerate the story.
Yeah, just a
But like,
tiny bit. Yeah.
I mean, the jokes that I found myself laughing at from the comedians that I like watch and used to watch and stuff were things that, like, you know, they experienced.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, I think one of the ones that I used to watch was Gabriel Iglesias,
oh my god, yes.
aka the Fluffy. Yeah. I would remember
Love
like when I first found him, my cousin actually introduced me to his shows or whatever. And I was like, dang, he is like hilarious. Like I could relate to this man so much
hmm
because he like grew up in a Hispanic household, and I was like, yeah, like this is pure gold for me.
Yeah. It was like, he's hilarious. Hilarious? Why did I don't know. He's hilarious, but like, the thing that got me for him was his impressions.
Yes.
The
Oh,
voices and
dude.
shit he can do cracks me
Those are
up.
funny. I recently showed my mom one of his shows, and she was just like laughing. Like, mind you, she doesn't understand English a lot, but the things that she understood, she like laughed her ass off.
Yeah, like he makes you belly laugh real nice.
Yeah,
He is
he's
funny. He's
fucking
definitely one of
insanely
those that's
hilarious.
hilarious.
He's one of the
Yeah, a
guys that I
couple of
actually do want to go catch one of the shows.
yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, for sure. Definitely before he decides he wants to like retire or something.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah.
There's a couple of his shows that, like, even though I've already seen them, like, I'll rewatch them because it's still funny. Like, you know how
Oh
some things
yeah.
lose their funny? Like, some of those jokes still just
Still are hilarious.
kill me.
Mm-hmm. I
But
think especially the ones where he's like talking with like the cops. I think those are like still funny to
yeah.
me.
He always gives them this really southern country
Yeah.
accent, like heavy, and it's so funny. It's so
Oh.
good. It's like no matter where he's at, the cop is always country.
Doesn't matter where.
It's
He's like, you don't
hilarious.
understand. I'm damn near pissed myself. Like,
One of my favorite um, jokes of his is he was like, "Don't do it, but if you're ever driving drunk and get pulled over and you have tinted windows,
a
hop
little
into the
fun with it.
passenger seat and look like you don't know what happened."
Just
He
quickly
was
like
like,
unbuckle your seatbelt,
and then he
jump
was
to the
like, "Hop over
passenger
into the
side.
passenger seat and have a little fun. Act like you don't know where to drive."
Yeah.
He was like, "If you know you're going to jail, have a little fun."
Like, you know for sure.
That joke took me out.
Mm.
Especially when he was like the confused cop and he was like, "I don't know where he went. I've been sitting
What?
here."
Me drive? Oh no, I'm fucked up.
Now I'm fucked up.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That joke is
Oh man,
hilarious.
that one's so funny.
hmm
I recently watched Eternals. Um and if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend seeing it. It is a great movie.
I've
Um
heard good things about it.
oh, it's so good, dude. I
I
was
just
It's a
like
really
picked me
good
up on that.
in
movie.
awe for most of it. And then the
It's not.
ending. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, I was gonna say it's not a lot like the other Marvel movies because obviously the other Marvel movies they kind of kick it off obviously really quickly with like the action, like the
Yeah.
everything, but it's like a
Mhm.
slow build. It's because it's a whole new group. It's like, oh, you don't know them yet, so you kind of have to introduce them, and then there is action at the end, and it's really cool and everything. But I think it helps more because obviously if it starts out with the action, you're just like, oh, I'm just watching these people fight. I don't know their even know their names.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
who am I rooting for? But no, it's a really good movie. It's very but diverse, not only in like different people, but it's like people, like the gays, the straights, everybody.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
thought those were like really cool like conceptions in there. Um, conceptions. I meant like really cool details that they added into the movie. Um,
Concepts.
concepts. Yes, you knew
There
where I
you
was
go.
going.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm still sleepy. But but yeah, so it's I I watched it and I thought it was a really good movie. The ending definitely got to me. I was just like, whoa, like what's gonna happen next? Like, is there gonna be a second movie? Like, is there gonna be more to the story? But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend seeing it. Ali, once you come back, definitely watch it. Because it's
Yeah,
like
Oh
no,
a
yeah.
really good
see
movie, dude.
that Spider-Man and like one or two other movies that I know came out recently.
I need you
When I
both
get
to
back
watch
from
Spider-Man.
I haven't
yeah,
watched
no,
Spider-Man yet.
that's
To
at
be
the top of my list because I'm like trying so hard. Like anytime I just like even relatively see like a Spider-Man costume or anything in my TikToks, I'm like
Mhm.
scroll,
Yeah, like
scroll.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't want
I
any
haven't watched it.
spoilers.
I'm trying my best to like stay away from spoilers.
Luckily, and I'm not gonna jinx myself, so I'm gonna knock on wood. I have yet to like actually see genuine spoilers.
Mhm.
So it's just people making
Good.
jokes that I don't understand. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep scrolling. I'm not gonna
I
check the
remember,
comments.
man, before it came out, me and me and JP, we were like hardcore, just making sure like we didn't get anything spoiled. We like muted, like we JP deleted all his social media, but I
Oh.
I like muted everything and I put it in a separate folder in my phone that said "Do not open."
Yeah.
And I
Nice.
literally was like, I cannot wait for the day I get to watch it, so that way I can finally go on Twitter and TikTok and like look at everything.
Mm.
Yeah,
It was
free to
like,
just scroll and not have to worry about it.
oh yeah, like JP would be at work and his coworkers were kind of dicks.
Oh.
They were they were trying to spoil it for him. They were trying to watch it on like bootleg or whatever, and they were trying to be like, "Oh, did you know this, and this?" And then obviously they were like, messing with him,
Right.
and they were like, "Why are you taking it so seriously?" And I have a few friends who were the same way. They were like, "Why are you taking it so seriously?" Like, because it's a really good
It's
movie I want to
yeah.
watch. It's something
Yeah, it's
like,
something
Well,
I've been looking forward
yeah,
to.
it's like people need to understand that spoilers ruin, I guess, in people who are really into these movies, like into this like universe, Marvel
Hmm.
universe. Like they're really into like the art and the action and everything like that. So spoilers really ruin everything that you are looking forward to seeing in the movies itself.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like
My
I
thing is,
it's
oh, sorry.
understandable that you guys were just like, I don't want to hear anything because I want to experience it for myself. You want to
Yeah,
catch all of that. Like what's the word I'm looking for? You want to absorb it all.
oh
yeah.
yeah,
My
watching it
thing
without
is, sorry.
spoilers was like, sorry, no, it's okay. Um, Watching it without spoilers, definitely like it's worth all the hype. Like I watched it 2 times and I still can't believe it's a movie they put out. Like
Mm,
it's really good.
Yeah. Like my thing is just like it may not be that serious to you, but it's serious to this person. So like just be a nice person, to be a genuine human being and not try to ruin this for them.
yeah,
Plus, it's
exactly.
not like
Just
it'll
leave
be
it
the
alone.
end of the world if you just like for a day or a week, like, just don't talk about it.
Yeah. Or talk about it with people you know have seen it and just don't talk around the people who haven't. Like it's really not that hard.
It really is not.
Simple as that.
Yeah. And there's multiple people that like don't like spoilers, so I don't understand why his coworkers were being so. It's not like JP's the only person in the world who like is like, don't spoil it, don't spoil it. Like there's so many
There's so
people
many people
that were
out
like,
there. Yep.
please don't spoil this. Even the cast was like, please don't spoil it for people.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
like, just be a genuine human being. It's not hard.
I'm one of those people who are like, if I'm really looking forward to a movie, like I'm going to tell you like, please just don't spoil it because I still haven't seen it and I want to watch it so bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, if they're gonna talk about it, I quickly leave just so that I don't listen.
I don't even remember what movie it was, but there was one that I wanted to see so bad. And it was like a big movie that a lot of people were going to see. And I was like, I'm not going to be around anybody that's seen it. Because,
Yeah,
like, sometimes things, like, not even of malicious intent just slip out.
right.
So
Hmm.
I was like, I'm not even going to be around anybody that's seen it because I don't even want, like, accidental spoilers and nothing. I don't know. Like, and it was so hard because it was like, it was at the time when I was still, like in high school. And so it was like, walking into the bathroom, there's like a group of people and they're talking, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just go to the next bathroom because I know what y'all are talking about and I don't want to sit here and listen.
Right, right.
I avoided so many bathrooms because there were people that were just like, would meet up during class to talk about it because, teachers wouldn't let you text or whatever. So they were just standing in the bathroom, this big clump of, like, this big group, and they were just like, oh my God, yeah, this. And I was like, I'm going to go to the next bathroom and hope that it's empty.
Oh my God,
Or
yeah. No, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Oh no, I don't have anything else to add. I was just agreeing with you.
Oh. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm done. You can go.
My bad.
No, but I think alongside talking about things that Betty White was in and recommendations, that we could maybe talk about a few things that we have that we've seen that we would like to recommend to each other and to our viewers and listeners. If you guys are down with that.
I'm down.
Oh yeah. I have
right.
this show. It's called Invincible. It's been out for a little bit, not too long. It's been like almost half a year, or it's been half a year since it came out, as far as I know. But it's another superhero. It's another superhero show, but it's not exactly like kid friendly. It's very very gory and it's very violent.
So please don't let your children watch.
Oh yeah, no, don't let your kids watch at all.
No, not even close. It's animated, but it's not for kids.
Definitely not. Oh my God, no, your children don't want to see. Yeah,
I barely wanted to see it.
no, but it's really good. It really has you at the edge of your seat. It's called, obviously I said Invincible. It's about like the 17-year-old. He's in high school. He's like, his dad is a superhero. It's like the Justice League, the whole like Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and all that. But his dad, his name is Omni-Man, and in my opinion, he's more like the Superman of the show, because he's like, he basically almost has everything similar to Superman.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's not Superman. And then in the show, they have the Justice League, quote unquote, but they're called the Guardians of the Globe. And they have the characters like the Immortal, he's supposed to be the Superman. Darkwing, he's the Batman, and then there's one called Red Rush, he's the Flash, technically. And it just goes down. Even like the first episode, it goes down. And you're like, whoa, you get a real good like glimpse idea of like how the rest of the show's gonna be. And you're like, oh my God. And it just gets crazier. You think that after the first episode, like that's like as crazy as it's gonna get. But it gets crazier and it's insane. And I really want you guys to watch it.
Yeah, I have seen it. I definitely agree. It is definitely worth the watch. But keep in mind that it is extremely gory. And it gets even more gory as it keeps going, for sure.
I've definitely
definitely recommend as well.
Yeah, like I know you guys have been, or I know Mo and JP have been recommending it to me. I haven't been able to get around to watching it, but I will watch it because it's like I've seen like trailers and whatnot, and I'm just like, yo, this seems like a really cool show to watch.
Yeah, I'm a part of a community. This guy streams, and I'm like in his community. He was having like a kind of movie show night, and we ended up watching that. And I just kind of like stuck around because I was like, sounds interesting. And then, of course, you get to the part where you're like, you're sticking around because you are interested. You're like, I want to finish this. So that's how I ended up watching it, but it's pretty good.
It is great. Okay. Do you have any shows that you would like to watch?
Yes, I have a few that I wrote down as a recommendation so I could remember. So I tried to avoid shows that have been like kind of canceled. Well, not kind of, like they're canceled or they're not, but I've tried to avoid shows that were canceled. I hate because I hate watching a show and thinking it's interesting and then it's canceled the first season after, because Netflix loves to do that. So I tried to avoid those. So there's only one that's been canceled. There's one that has a little bit of a weird thing, so I'll explain. So basically, the first show that I would like to recommend is called The 100.
I like that show.
Yeah, it is one of my absolute favorite shows. It ran for, I believe, 7 seasons. It literally just ended a couple years ago. from 2014 to 2022. It basically follows kind of like a semi post-apocalyptic kind of thing. It starts out with people like in space. They're on a spaceship, and you learn that because of humans and war and basically, atomic bombs and things, that like Earth was uninhabitable for, the 100 years. 100 keeps popping up in the show. That's kind of how they played it out. And basically, it starts out with they send 100 kids to the ground, again, 100, and, just they learn the Earth is inhabitable again. But, throughout the seasons, there's more and more enemies that come along and just things that happen. And it's a drama show, but very interesting. I will say that the last season, in my opinion, was not as great as the rest. They slightly fell off with that one. I mean, it's up to everybody's own interpretations if you want to watch it, if you have watched it. But as far as me for the last season, I didn't really enjoy that one, so I've kind of like still not finished it. But I think it's very worth the watch. There's also another one that has been finished as well, completely. It's called iZombie.
Yes. Oh, I thought I was the only one. Yes.
No, I love iZombie.
As soon as you said it, I was like, wait.
It ran for, excuse me, I want to say 5 seasons, I believe, 4 or 5 seasons. Actually, let me get an accurate.
I think it was 5. I want to say it was 5.
Yeah, 5. There we go. Yeah, it ran for 5 seasons. It ended in 2015 to 2019. It's basically about this lady. She starts the show as human because of some drug that's circulating. She goes to this party. People turn into zombies. She actually gets scratched, and she herself becomes a zombie. And basically, without spoiling most of it, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory once you start watching. The show is basically about her. She gets a new job working in the morgue for the police station. And we then learn that because obviously zombies need brains to survive, she starts getting these visions of sorts, and she starts using that to help her, solve the crimes. And that's pretty much what the entire show is about. Her just using this kind of power she has, with various little details and stuff in between. But that's basically the basis of the show. She's now a zombie, and she's using her powers for good, basically. Another show that I have is called Scream, but it's Netflix's version. It's a series, not the movies. It's a show, and it's basically circled around, Scream, Ghostface, however you want to call it. I am recommending the first 2 seasons. I will say that the second season ended in a way that, this is a show that's weird. The second season ended in a way that kind of wasn't finished. I thought the third season was going to be a continuation because the second season was a little bit of a cliffhanger. So I will say, if you're going to pick that one up, there is a bit of a cliffhanger, and the third season has like nothing to do with the first or the second. But I do think the first and second season are definitely worth the watch. It's basically just about this group of kids. They're being tormented by, Scream. They don't know who it is, things like that. It's basically the movie kind of spaced out over episodes, but it's not repetitive or anything weird. Like it's genuine, like you're on the edge of your seat, suspense. You're trying to figure it out with the like characters in the movie or in the show. Sorry. So there's that one, and then the last one I have has been canceled, unfortunately. It was called The Night Shift. It ran from 2014 to 2017. Basically, it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's the night shift of a hotel. The cast is the night shift. Because it's been canceled, the last season is a huge cliffhanger. There's no resolution, nothing like that. So keep that in mind. I believe there's either 3 or 4, maybe 5 seasons. I cannot recall. Let me get a. Sorry.
She was like, I need an accurate, like.
Let me get an accurate. There's no point in recommending it to you. Okay, there's 4 seasons. So there's 4 seasons. It's pretty much. It doesn't get repetitive. It's nothing like, as much as I love it, it's nothing like Grey's Anatomy, where it just keeps
yeah.
going and nothing is different. There is a lot different. The plot is actually something you can follow, and you won't get too tired of. But like I said, unfortunately, it has been canceled. So once you get to that last season, if you're going to watch, just remember that there will be a lot of unanswered questions. So
the worst kind of
yeah,
cliffhanger there.
definitely. But I do say the first, well, not the first, the 4 seasons that they did manage to put out are definitely worth the watch. It's a really good show, in my opinion.
Those sound really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed them very much. Like I said, I tried to avoid things that were just 1 season or like canceled or whatever. So that's what I could come up with that I thought was worthy of, that people, I feel like, that aren't, so broad that people are already watching them or things like that. So
right.
Kat, do you have any shows?
I actually do. So I have the show that I used to watch with my dad, that I still do. Now I can't because they took it off of the only streaming service that I had available. But it's called Medium. So it's like based off of like true events. For those of you who believe or don't believe. It's about this lady who can speak to spirits, so she can see and talk to the dead. Um, but she ends up working for a DA, district attorney. So she helps him go through all of these cases, and like she tries to help him as much as she can to like help solve them. Um, but in the end, it's like it's a very like in her life, like how she plays through it or how she goes through all of these events. Like her daughters are involved in it because like they have the same gift as her. um Another show that I definitely recommend watching is um Dexter. I actually watched that back in like, oh gosh, that was like early high school years. um but I watched it, and I just recently found out that there's going to be a second part per se of Dexter. So it's like more cases and more of like his maniac killer side. Um so Dexter is actually like a person, or what is that, crime scene like investigator. So he works with like blood drops and splatter and everything, and he's like obsessed with blood in its way of like telling a story, I guess. But he works with the police, so he has to hide his true identity as much as possible, and it gets, it's kind of suspenseful and dramatic. But it's a really good show. I definitely recommend that one. And I think one other show I would recommend. Now, this is something that I watched way back when it first came out. It's Pretty Little Liars. It's
Yeah.
definitely a good show, dude. It like keeps you on the edge of your seat. Like it's very suspenseful. It's very like mystery like, especially if you're trying to find out who is actually doing all of the the activities that are happening around these girls. But it's definitely a fun and thriller like show that I definitely recommend to everybody. um Sadly, I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Like I didn't get to get like the ending. But if it comes out anytime soon again on any other streaming service that I can afford, then I'll definitely watch it all over again.
Yeah, no, they have it on the Netflix here, and I'm rewatching
I
it.
envy you for that. Because it used to be on Netflix here, but now they took it off and put it on HBO. And it's like HBO's an expensive bitch.
Yep.
It is.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well,
And what I've heard from people that have it is it's not even really that good to be that
it's
expensive.
not, dude. Yeah, it's like I get it. You have all of like the good old time shows like Friends
Yeah,
and uh obviously Pretty Little Liars and all these other shows and movies that they've got, but just use a VPN.
yeah. Like I get it, y'all know what we want to watch, and you know you have it, but come on, let me watch it. Like, what?
Yeah,
What's the point in telling me you have it
don't
if I
be this
can't watch
rude. Oh
it? Right?
man. Yeah. If I could, I probably could, but you're right, I won't. Like back then,
I
I
won't.
won't do it. But I used to like back in school we used to have these Chromebooks, and they would like block everything so we wouldn't be distracted from doing our homework and whatnot. So back then
Yeah.
we would like there was a group of us in school that would hack into them.
Oh, geez.
and we'd like watch our shows and movies and whatnot there. Uh this one time I remember I was in ISS, so in school suspension. So I was in detention basically. And we would have like a group of us would be there and I was like, "Hey, does anybody want to watch a show with me?"
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Who brought their Chromebook?" So I'd like
That's
hack into the Chromebook and like we would all just sit there and watch. This one time we almost got caught though because the principal just like opened the door randomly and I was like, "Shit, just shut down
Oh my god.
like close the close the Chromebook as fast as possible." Oh man, but it was fun. It was fun. It was definitely fun.
Those were
I
the
don't recommend doing it
days.
because I don't want y'all getting in trouble. If you're in school,
Oh yeah.
But
but
if you're gonna do it, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, but if
Don't
you're
get
gonna do it, don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
We are not encouraging you to hack
No,
into your
it's a
school's
joke.
Wi-Fi or Chromebooks or anything.
Do not do
It's a
No, you can't
joke.
blame us because we told them not to.
it. We said don't. It was a jokey joke. It was a little ha ha
Ha
funny.
ha, funny. Funny joke.
It's a funny joke. Nobody should be taking it seriously.
Oh man. But since we're on the topic of recommendations and whatnot, um
Mhm.
I wanted to talk to you guys about video games. And more specifically video games that are coming out this year.
Okay.
So I have a list, and in this list are 22, count them, 22 uh 22 so there's 22 video games that are coming out this year for specifically for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So PlayStation, sorry, backwards. But there's 22 games that are coming out and I'm super excited for 5 of them that I'm going to list right now. Um Mainly because I've been looking forward to them. But if you want to take a look into any of the other 17 games that have been listed, there if you just Google 22 in 22 PlayStation, they're going to give you the first link, and that first link is the list for the whole thing. I thought it was catchy because 22 games in 2022, so but
Definitely catchy.
it's very catchy.
I didn't even think about that. Why didn't I think about that?
No, but yeah, so the first one that I want to talk about is actually God of War Ragnarok. Back in
Oh,
2018, they released God of War, but they released the one with his son. Um, but God of War Ragnarok is to be confirmed. It is going to be coming out in 2022. They just have no idea like when exactly, but they are for
mhm.
sure letting us know that they are going to release it this year. But in this Ragnarok edition, Kratos and his son are seeking to find their own place in the world. So basically, his son is seeking to find his own place in the world, and Kratos is trying to help him explore what it means to be the child of the Greek demigod and one of the last remaining giants in the realms. Um, but yeah, I think I'm super excited because they have this whole new adventure to go through, and it's just more like in the in the first one where you first meet Atreus, and it's like he's not that much good of a father. He's very distant. But in
Mm-hmm.
the God of War Ragnarok, you get to see that, like, that relationship flourish and bloom. They open up more, and they become more of a father son relationship, which I think would be really cool to be in and like experience, because Kratos isn't really known for being a softie per se. He's very much
Mm-hmm.
of a hardcore type of guy. Um, but that one is to be confirmed, but it is going to be coming out this year. The next game I'm super excited to play, or to experience, is called Ghostwire Tokyo, and that one is actually based off of, not based off of, but it's in the, like, the same creators that made The Evil Within and the Evil Within series.
Ooh.
Oh, excuse me. So what they're doing is, this is a survival horror type of game, where they go through a detailed yet supernatural, like, Japan, um and they go through, so it's like, it's a signature talent for atmosphere and imaginative scenery, where it sets its players in a haunted Tokyo amidst a mysterious mass disappearance, and visitors from another world are roaming the streets. So you are a first person, it is a first person action adventure game where you use a mix of traditional and spectral combat to purify real world based Tokyo locations. um
Hmm.
so you're trying to save the city from outer outer worldly visitors, quote unquote visitors, um monsters, if you will, as you uncover the mystery of the population's disappearance. So you're noticing that these, like, ton of people are missing, and you're just trying to figure out why. But that's also, it looks really cool. It has, like, this, like, neon vibe to it. um Obviously it's Tokyo, Japan, you have to have the neon vibe to it.
Of
But
course, of course.
I think I'm ready to play that one whenever it comes out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I'm like losing my breath here.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good.
So the next one I'm ready to check out would be Dying Light 2 Stay Human. That one is very much anticipated. That one is very much like, people are super duper excited to play, because it's been years since they've been like, "Oh, we're going to, like, make this new game, and, like, it's going to be based off the Dying Light first one, and blah blah blah." Um that one, actually, I do have a release date for that, and that's going to be February 4th of 2022. So definitely keep in mind, mark it on your calendar if you have that whole week open. um but it is going to be coming out in February 4th, or on February 4th. um but that is one of the games that has to do with, like, zombies, like the infected. So you're trying to collect resources, just try and survive. It's very much like The Last of Us, but it has its own twist.
Mm-hmm.
um what is that, number three? One, two, three. So my next game is called Stray. So I don't know,
Ooh.
I think Ali, we've talked about it with Kai not too long ago, but it's that cat survival game where, like,
Yeah.
you're just playing as a cat. You're a little kitten. You're a little
Mm-hmm.
kitten. You first come out injured, of course. So you start off the game as an injured kitten. But you're in this city, this forgotten city of androids. And it's just, there's no humans in sight. There's only robot like humans, and you have yourself to just basically use your cat skills to survive in that deadly, like, lethal city. There's a lot of like exploring, open world, um, and you get to meet a little like drone friend, and they're able to guide you through and help you communicate with the androids that live there. Um, but somewhere in the game, there's gonna be other occupants who are not androids. They're actually more of like you get to discover like in the game, but you have to, protect yourself. And in the end you meet like this like doctor, I guess, and he tries to like basically come up with upgrades and like weaponry that you can use as a cat because you're not human. But you're basically trying to just fend off of these like little creatures that are not, they more like robots. um but yeah, it's a very like exploration type game. So don't think it's like a calming game. It's not like one of those games that are calm and whatnot. It's definitely one of those like, it's gonna be calm and then it's gonna sneak up on you type of thing. So that one is definitely one of the ones that I'm super excited, especially because it's a cat. Come on, it's a cat, so you get to play as a cat. And then the very last one, I've actually seen the first gameplay of this game, Oxenfree, and
Mm.
they're actually coming up with a second one. Oxenfree was back in like, ooh, I want to say like 2015, 2016, around that time. It was a really nice game. I saw the whole playthrough. I didn't get to play it myself, but I did see other people play it, and it's a beautiful like supernatural type of game. They're finally coming out with the second one. That one still has no like official release date. Oh, actually, I didn't even talk about the release date. I don't think it has a release date. No, it doesn't. All I know is that it's coming out in early 2022 for Stray. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But for Oxenfree, that one is still to be confirmed as well. It
Mhm.
might be like later on in the year, so like towards the end. But it's um it's already gotten like, it's already been given a few teasers and a few like trailers and whatnot. Um, but it's very like, it's a 2D like action suspenseful thriller type of game,
Mhm.
where you're supposed to try and figure out why you feel like this supernatural thing is happening in this world of yours. And it's more of like, I guess, extra dimensionals. Um, so you move from one dimension to the other, and you have to figure out a way to get back to your original dimension. And I think it's a pretty cool concept. So you have to try and figure out, like, you have to try and figure out what's going on. Why is nobody around?
Mhm.
Like, what is happening, to where it's like there's literally absolute emptiness in this one dimension, and then just try and switch back to yourself, like to your original dimension. But those are definitely a bunch of games that I'm excited to try out. um as
Definitely sounds
soon
interesting.
Yeah, as soon as like Sony themselves are going to tell you like, hey, this game is now out or whatever. Like, they'll give out their release dates, but as of right now there's no like confirmed release dates for most of these games already. um but yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm super excited for all of these games.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
excited for
too.
Stray and what did you say, Oxenfree?
Oxenfree, Oxenfree. Jesus Christ! Hello. Wow, Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. Good goodness. What?
I'm definitely excited for that one as well. Those last two definitely sound like ones I would enjoy.
I'm super hyped for God of War Ragnarok. It's
Ooh,
something
yes.
we've been looking forward to for a long while now, especially like after we finished the first game. Oh man, we're like, oh yeah, the next one's gonna be so good. And then we saw the trailer and we were like, oh, what? And then now we're like so hyped for it. Like when you mentioned it, I saw JP in the chat. He was like, yes. No, but I'm so excited for it. That one, Stray, and Oxenfree.
Yeah, definitely.
I do have some game news that I put together because now that we're on the topic of games, I thought I would like to see what's next for all the games that we like to play. Like I got Red Dead, and there's not a lot to talk about Red Dead because, like even a lot of the fans on Twitter have been raging that nothing's been really released. Everything's been focused more on GTA, and even then, GTA doesn't really have that much going on right now. So they had an update on the 6th, and people were very upset because it was basically the same thing that they always get. And then, like Rob mentioned, and I looked up, that there was rumors of a Red Dead Redemption 3, but since there was like 8 years between the first and the second game, we're more than likely not to see another Red Dead game until maybe 2026. That's just rumors, and right now Rockstar isn't really trying to communicate with their audience. Like everybody's raging about it, and Rockstar has yet to release anything about the outrage. And I think that's like really upsetting because not only have we been waiting for GTA 6, but we're gonna have to wait for stuff for Red Dead Online, and even like if they don't release anything, they could lose so many customers, so many players, and then we don't want Red Dead to get, you know, shut down because Red Dead is actually a really, really fun game that we play all the time. Red Dead is very realistic. They put a lot of details in the game that they never really do in any other games, and it's like surprising. Even in GTA, they didn't put that much detail.
No, playing it more and more, like every day that we play it, I find like a new animal, a new person, a new like way to break the game. I say in just like new ways to die that it's crazy.
New ways to die.
I die a lot.
Same.
But they definitely put a lot of effort into the game, and I just like playing it as much as we play it. I'm still finding new things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, you learn a new thing almost every day. Like
literally,
if you throw a Molotov and you like go into camera mode, you can see the glass literally be distorted like you would see a piece of glass, like in person. Like it's insane how much detail they put into this game, and they just can't let it die out like that.
Yeah, definitely. It would be really sad if they just kind of let it dip down and fade out.
I have a kind of a news for Apex because I know a lot of my friends like Apex, and I really don't, but I did this one for the boys. Since Apex is almost 3 years old, it's gonna turn 3 in February, and it's pretty much concrete next to Warzone and Fortnite. It's got a new season coming up, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. It's season 12. It's gonna come February, I think. I'm not too sure, but as far as I've seen, they've been teasing out a new character, and a bunch of people are really excited for it. And apparently there was a character whose name was Mad Maggie or something. She was a lifelong friend and mortal of an enemy not Aussie hothead Fuse, was presumed dead at the end of season 8, and apparently she's coming back. I don't know how excited a lot of people are for it, but apparently a lot of people are excited. And I know they're going to release a lot more cosmetics because, it's the 3-year anniversary. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But I also have Dead by Daylight news, is that if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get monthly content because they're going to be releasing it every month. It's Prime Gaming comes included as part of any Amazon Prime membership. It introduces gamers to new titles while offering new content for the games already play across all major platforms. It's something I'm pretty excited about, especially a lot of people who have Amazon Prime. Is now you're getting something monthly and not waiting for, not waiting a while for a new update.
Yeah.
Or a new chapter.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then January 10th, to February 10th, which is I guess right now, the hillbilly has a new skin. It's like ice. I'm sure we've all seen it. He's
Mhm.
basically covered in ice. He's got icicles coming out of him. He looks pretty cool. And then in March, which is I'm excited for, there's gonna be a new killer coming out. It's the girl from The Ring. Not only is from the novels, but from the film adaptation, and the author of the whole thing is actually really excited to be releasing the character, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I am as
How
well.
y'all?
Excited to see how they play that into the game.
Yeah, I'm very
I've tried
excited.
to I've tried to avoid like trailers or anything so I could like join the game after the update and see, you know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
I've
like
seen.
genuine reaction to me playing.
Oh, I'm excited. I think um because I haven't seen, thankfully I haven't seen any spoilers or like anything like that
hmm
on any of my social media, but all I know is that one article I read that, when they were like, oh, they're gonna release this. That's the only one I've seen.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to see like what kind of cosmetics they have planned for her and whatnot, and what her like power is gonna be. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm very excited to see what her
Like what the
power is.
map is gonna look like.
Yeah, like if
Oh
she gets a
man.
map, what it's gonna look
Yeah.
like, what her power is, how her power is. Yeah, I'm excited. This is probably the first killer I've been excited for a while.
Oh, yes.
These other ones have been like, okay, cool, new killer, but this one I'm like, ooh, yeah, how is this gonna work? I'm so excited.
No, I saw this. I saw a comment somewhere that said, she's gonna be a really slow killer because it's gonna take her 7 days to kill one survivor.
We exit the game
So
before
Yep.
she even like is there.
Well, I'm excited for her perks. I wonder what perks she's gonna have.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, same. I'm just excited all around for how they're gonna
Oh
do
yeah, for sure. What do you think they're gonna add more survivors? Or more survivors on her part? Or who they would be?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure because the
Probably
movie
not.
didn't really have any standout characters besides her, in my opinion. And I
Mhm.
don't think they're gonna use obviously the Scary Movies adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
yeah.
as much as people want Brenda, I don't think
That
they're
would
gonna
be
go Brenda.
hilarious.
It would
I
It
be.
never
would be
thought
fun,
about that.
but I think they're gonna use the real adaptation. And as far as I know, there's no characters in that really stuck out besides her. So it might just be her by herself.
Right. If they were to, though, like imagine if they did bring out Brenda as one of the survivors. She'd
That
be my new favorite, like all the way through.
Oh my god, her and what's her name? Oh my god, I forgot her
Cindy.
name. Cindy.
Yeah.
I would always use them. Oh my god.
I could just
I'd love
imagine
that.
like Brenda's perks being all about like survival and like all for yourself, and Cindy's are like really like either needing help or being really dumb perks that kind of like dump the killer or something. Like because like she's kind of this like really slow character. So it'd be
Uh-huh.
funny if her perks like slowed down the killer or something, you know?
Yeah, she has like distraction perks all around.
Yeah, definitely. That would be hilarious. I
Oh, but
think that is
Brenda.
probably the funniest thing DVD could do is to release Brenda and Cindy
They
with a
really
new
should. You
killer.
know how
They
much
should.
like how many people would come to Dead by Daylight?
You know how fast I would buy them?
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
would
my.
absolutely get the DLC.
I think a lot of people would spend so much on that chapter.
Definitely. If like, because I
What?
mean, I'm already wanting the killer. If they added Brenda and or Cindy, it's game over, and I'm getting it all.
Mm.
Trying to think of what killer they would release though, if they were to actually do the scary movie series
I
or
mean,
one of the scary movies.
there was a lot. I mean, we already have Ghostface, so they couldn't really do that.
Mhm.
Really, if anything, like The Ring. Um, we already have something for like Jigsaw. Um, what they've really done the adaptations on is like really the only thing I feel like DBD hasn't put in the game that Scary Movie has done something about is really The Ring. Like,
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
time since they released a major horror movie that everybody pretty much is like, Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the first one, the second one, and the third one were all like really popular. Um, but like the fourth and the fifth one don't really have anything that they could really incorporate into DBD as like a killer slash survivor kind of thing. They didn't really have a killer like that. The first two or first three that did. Oh my gosh, goodness, the first three did. So I just think they should take the ring and add Brenda and Sydney. Sydney.
Oh my god, yeah. If even if it's just them, I wouldn't care.
Literally. But I'm excited. Regardless of who they add, who they don't add. I'm just excited to see what she's gonna bring to the game. And I hope I like her. I hope she's not like the artist where
Yeah.
as soon as I know it's her, I want to
Mental
like
DC.
I hope
Yeah.
I really like how they put her in there.
Yeah,
I feel like
I just hope they put like TVs all around the map, and she's kind of like Freddy, where she
that'd be
crawls out of
really
them.
cool though.
oh yeah, that would be really cool, especially
hope they
like
do
also
something like
in what is it? The Jigsaw map, they have TVs as well, so she could also
Yeah.
like
Ooh,
that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Like some of the TVs in the Jigsaw map get like traded out for her like teleportation TVs or something. That might break the game. They'd probably just add TVs everywhere. But
Oh,
considering
yeah.
that's kind of like her whole thing is like 7 days she comes out of the TV and then kills you. I think it'd be cool that if they like her thing is like teleporting throughout the TVs or something like that.
Hmm.
That's what I
No,
thought first when I heard that they would do that. Is like
I already-
put TVs everywhere and have her crawl out.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I already imagine us screaming when she's she's crawling along the floor.
Definitely.
I'd be scared.
She's walking very slowly or walking like how she does. Oh my god. I'd
Dude.
scream immediately.
Yeah,
I wonder what her theme's gonna be, like the song.
Oh, I don't even know.
What if she has like?
Hoping to be terrified.
What if she has
I want to
like?
get scared.
You know those? You know how Legion has like a dash, right? Or like a like.
Oh yeah,
like they're able like lethal or what's it called? Lethal. No.
Rush.
Yes.
No,
yes.
Blight.
But I know
I think
like
Lethal
Blight has
Pursuer
like the thing where he
has-
injects himself with like something and then he's just dashing through. What
The
if she
Blight?
has that like concept where she like as soon as you press like the dash she like just goes super fast like crawling.
Oh my god,
that'd be so
perfect.
scary.
Oh my god.
And then just
I would
dash. Oh my god.
Yes, dude.
That I would be terrified as fuck. Imagine just coming at you so quickly. Like Blight speed just yeah, hell no. Like yes, but hell no.
Frenzy,
But, like,
there you go. Yeah. Frenzy.
Yeah, yeah, either like coming out of TVs or like coming up out of like water puddles or something, you know, because she's like in the well or wells, out of wells kind of thing. I just want her teleporting and coming out of something.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I
Yeah,
want.
it would kind of defeat the purpose of who she is if she didn't.
Yeah, like if she's just walking around, that'd be boring. So I hope she comes out of something related to her. I hope she looks wet. Like maybe not coming out of water puddles, but like a well or a TV, and I just hope she looks really wet.
Do you think
I
she
will be
might
upset
have
if she
traps like Freddy does? Like, you know how he has his pools of blood, but she'd
Yeah,
have like
she'd have
those puddles of water?
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. I don't know. We'd have to see what they have in store for us then. For the update. Because they might have like different thoughts that we haven't thought of yet. Like different ideas, I guess you could say, and we haven't thought of them yet. Like right now we just busted out with like a bunch of like
I know
teleportation
literally.
like ideas and whatnot. Maybe they have something else that could use it as a teleportation that we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, I hope they're already on it. They're like, man, we got this.
Yeah.
I'm just excited though. Whatever it is, I'm excited. But I also have a game that I am really excited for. It is coming out this year. They're not entirely sure when, but it is set to come out later this year. I'm sure later because it's like just kind of been announced as coming out this year, so I'm sure it'll be maybe summer and or
maybe
later.
mid year, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Outlast Trials.
Mm.
It is a
Ooh.
prequel to Outlast, the Whistleblower DLC, and Outlast 2. So it's set during the Cold War, and there's a Murkoff testing facility, and basically, I'm not sure. There wasn't really any information. I don't know if it's like prisoners of war, soldiers, or anything like that, but it's people that are being tested on. They're kind of trapped in the facility, just kind of like Outlast 1 and the Whistleblower. Basically, the whole point of the game is just like kind of the first one. You're doing everything you can to survive and escape the facility. But unlike 1 Whistleblower and 2, there's going to be multiple enemies chasing you at once. So how 1 kind of had, well, I guess 1 and 2, they kind of had like, it would kind of section it off. Like you're being chased by the doctor, you're being chased by the big dude, you're being bugged by the patients, you're being chased by the ghost, kind of the person, the wall rider, whatever. Like it was all sectioned off. You were only dealing with one at a time, even if it might have been back to back. It was one at a time. Well, this one's going to have you dealing with multiple enemies at one time. So you'll be in one section, and they don't say how many. It could be 1 to 2, 1 to 3. I'm not entirely sure, but you'll be dealing with more than one person in some of the, or more than one like killer, antagonist, creepy person at one part of the game. But to make up for it being multiple killers at once, it is a co-op game. It is a co-op horror game that they are putting out. It is up to 4 players. So basically, you can have your friends, you can play by yourself, should you please. Just however you want to play it. But as they put it, it's always better to shit your pants in good company. So, I am very excited for that one to come out because I very much enjoy watching and playing the Outlast games. So I'm excited to see how this one kind of comes together, especially because it's a co-op.
Really exciting. I know for a fact JP's gonna make me play it since you said co-op.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm down
Like
to
the
play it with y'all.
first-
I should say though,
Yeah.
it is on PC. So as far as I know,
okay.
it looks to only be on PC when it's coming out. Let me see. I might be wrong. Let me see.
Maybe once it's on PS4, then I'll be able to play for sure. But right now, my PC, it's not gonna take it. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did we sit through the first one? Because of how scared I was. I can't imagine this one.
I know the first one is extremely scary to me. I am not seeing. Oh my god! Stop it. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be on every console. So PC and PlayStation and Xbox. It
Would it
looks
be?
like I am not finding a direct answer on if it's.
Okay.
So it
Would
might
it be
be, but it's definitely going
crossplay?
to be.
It might be.
That I'm not seeing either. There's not much out on it at the moment because they've kind of like just now released the trailer and things like that for it. So
okay.
So there's still more information to come out. So
hopefully, like within the next couple of months,
yeah,
they
there
can
will be
release
more.
some information that is very helpful, and hopefully one of them will say, "Oh, it's crossplay" or something like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few things on like Reddit and stuff like that are saying it is, but obviously I don't want to put that information out there until we're certain.
Right.
So I'm just gonna say I'm not entirely sure, but for certain, it is going to be at least on PC, on Steam.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Super
Crazy
exciting.
said, I hope it's on VR. You are absolutely insane.
Oh, I could never do VR. Oh my god, that anything to do with like scary games and then VR? No.
I know. No,
No,
thank
thank
you.
you.
I've seen so many videos of people like forgetting they're in like real life in a space in a room when they play VR
Yeah, and
games.
then you're just like
I
I feel
don't
like I'll hit my face like on the wall or something multiple
Yeah,
times.
I don't like I'm genuinely trying to run because I'm terrified. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
I would need a. I don't know if you've seen those. It's those VRs where like they have a little treadmill under them and they're like holding you in place and you can like spin around and
Oh,
run like in a direction. I
yeah.
think I'd need that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need that to make sure, if anything.
You
But I'm
could do
not
that.
about to body check myself into a wall.
Yeah, no, never.
I'm definitely excited for that one for sure. When I saw that that was coming out, I was like, oh yes, please. Especially when I learned that it was co-op.
Oh
All
man.
right.
It's exciting.
Super
Yeah, I'm
excited. There's
excited
a
for
lot
all
of
of these
games coming
things.
out and I'm super excited to see what each and every game has in store for people.
Yeah, I know. A lot of stuff. And it all sounds very interesting. Most of it sounds interesting, even though like I'm not interested in that type of game.
Mm.
So I hope that the people that are very satisfied with what people are putting out, because they all sound very fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited especially for DBD New Killer cuz mainly because we haven't played DBD a lot. And that's because, there's a lot of toxicity going around with that game and whatnot. But I mean, if you really like the game and you really enjoy playing it, it's one of the things that people should really look forward is like new updates towards the game.
Yeah,
And I feel like that killer would be a really nice addition, especially since like it's a game mainly about killers. So if you really think about it, like imagine going through all of the killer like movies and stuff that you've watched before and you're just like, ooh, like that'd be a really cool idea to add this killer in there or this person or um like one that I've heard a lot that people want to see in the game for some reason is Chucky.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, how are you gonna add this little child
I really
doll?
feel like he's gonna be like so hard to get away from, like Victor. Like he's gonna be like
Yeah,
really
it's
quick
like
or something.
yeah, at least make him like a little medium size,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
he'd
like
be
making him
really hard to
tiny is
see.
just yeah, is just so pointless to put him in if he's gonna be the size that he is. Like Victor works because of like what the twins is
Mhm.
or are, who the twins are, what the twins are. But like putting Chucky in by himself, the size of Victor potentially is just like, yeah, okay. What is this gonna do?
Right.
Completely like the least scariest thing that they could probably put in the game. But I feel like there's a reason they like haven't, whether they're not able to or just can't incorporate him into the game. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I know a
Yeah,
lot of
Victor
people
might
are
as
like,
well be Chucky.
I think a lot of people like every time they announce a killer, they're like Chucky, 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 and it's like probably not.
I
Oh
don't,
god.
I don't think I'd want to see Chucky just
No.
because how small he
Honestly,
is.
I wouldn't, but
Mm-mm.
people have their favorites, and I mean, most of people's favorites are in there. We have Freddy, Michael, Ghostface, Scream, whatever you want to call him. So people are just like put the rest of them in there.
Mm.
But I mean,
Mhm.
even in a sense, maybe they'll probably do it in a way of kind of how they did Jigsaw, where it's not him, it's someone from that movie, that series.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
it's possible.
they might do that instead, however they want to play that out. But yeah, if they do it.
I
Well,
would like to mention, now that we're on horror, is that Wednesday we're going to be doing true crime segment of
yes.
podcast. Everybody's going to have their own case, their own cold case, and we'll talk about it. I'm very excited for that.
I am very excited. We decided that we were going to do true crime goodness segments, and me as someone who could literally fall asleep to documentaries and has spent so many time watching them, and I have literally like there was a kind of series on Netflix that they had put out and I was literally just sitting there watching each episode like doing a puzzle.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely excited.
Yep.
I love true crime things
Yes.
and
So
documentaries and things like that.
there are going to be some Wednesdays where we do true crime, but there are going to be some that we do paranormal,
Yeah.
supernatural stuff. Um, but that's going to be our theme on Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
So each of us is going to bring a case for this Wednesday. Whether solved or not, it doesn't matter. But we just kind of want to make it to where it's like a true crime, and just kind of spit out, things that have been found or facts or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a puzzle.
Yeah, I love trying to solve them myself as well. So I'm excited for that, for sure. And the paranormal stuff, because I love paranormal things.
Ooh, okay.
So I hope everybody else is excited as well.
So I have a question. So this is where we're gonna move into like our have you ever section area. Since you mentioned watching documentaries and whatnot, and not falling asleep to them, have you ever stayed awake for an entire night? I have, because I was watching documentaries. Literally, dude, I'm just like you. I like whenever you're watching like true crime documentaries, I'm the type of person who wants to look at everything and like come up with different solutions or like different outcomes or who it could have been. Like it's a whole puzzle that I'm trying to piece together in my mind, and I'm like, I'm going to stay up and watch this. And this one time I actually stayed up an entire night, didn't go to sleep, for the day after until later, like on in the night, that I fell asleep. But that is one that I definitely stayed up an entire night for, and I do not regret whatsoever.
No regrets.
No regrets.
I used to stay up all night because I would play video games on school nights, and I'd look at the time and I'd be like, "Oh, it's fine. Like, I'll just stay up, and then I could fix my sleep schedule when I come home or something." And it'd be a very bad idea, obviously, but I wasn't doing too bad in school to where it worried me or the teachers or my parents. So I remember I would just play video games a lot at night, and then like I said, I wouldn't realize the time, and it was a very bad habit. I still do it. Still have a bad habit.
Learn.
We all do. It's okay.
No
Yeah.
shame in it.
None at all.
No. At all. I want to say, not I want to say, like, I know I have, but like one time that I can remember is I mod for one of my friends, and he was doing a 24-hour stream, and I said that I would help him out, kind of keep him accountable as well as him keeping me accountable. So we stayed up for the full 24 hours, and I believe I was up for maybe 6 hours after that before I like crashed. So I have stayed up for an entire night because I was helping him stay up for an entire night. I was like, we'll be in it together.
Oh man.
I guess I have a question for you all, since we're like talking about spooky stuff and whatnot. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Ooh, a near-death experience.
Have had a near-death experience. Basically, there was one day I was leaving my ex's house, and I was gonna go straight home because I was like, kind of not feeling it, kind of tired, like whatever. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll stay out. I'll work. So I decided to. I was on the highway at the time when I like made the decision. I was like, yeah, I'll work, like whatever. So I pulled over to kind of like, because I was in a good area for like what I was doing at the time. I would do DoorDash. And I was like in a good area that was pretty busy. It was like just around the start of dinner time, so there was going to be a rush and everything. And I was like, yeah, I'll stay around here. So I pulled over. I have like a huge fear of semi trucks. So there was like
Me.
a couple behind me,
Right.
and I was like, I'll pull over. Like, you know, I don't want to. Obviously, I'm not going to do this while I'm driving. Like, not going to set things up. So I pulled over, and right after I pulled over, like, put my car in park, grabbed my phone. At the exact moment, the car that was behind me spun out, hit the semi
Oh.
truck that was behind us,
Uh-huh.
and the truck flipped over, like slid along the highway, caught on fire,
Oh
and
my
like
god.
slightly
Dude.
exploded. And like still driving by that one spot, like you can see where the semi like chipped the like divider in between the like highway.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, when you look at it, when I like got a better look at it, he skidded along our side of the highway, bumped up onto something, and then ended up on the other side of the divider.
Oh
And
my
like
god.
the truck caught on fire when it flipped over, so like the entire bottom of the truck was in flames. But luckily someone that was driving by at the time like pulled over and had a whatchamacallit, a fire extinguisher in their truck. I don't know if they were, I don't know why, but they had a fire extinguisher. So
Mm-hmm.
luckily they were able to like put it out. But like if I hadn't decided to pull over and work, if I had just kept going home, I could have potentially been in that accident because that dude was like right behind me, and the semi was like right behind him, kind of like next to him in the lane over. They were
Mm.
both like right behind me. So like if I hadn't made that decision to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll work and pulled over, I would have been in that accident potentially because they hit another car as well.
That is
Um,
crazy.
when they spun out, they hit another car, and I believe that car is the one that hit the semi. Either the car that spun out or the car that they
Oh my
hit the semi.
gosh.
Yeah, it was very scary because like I just hear this big crash, huge explosion, and I look up and just see the semi truck just skidding, and this car is spinning out. It was crazy.
Oh my god. I'm glad you're okay. Oh my god, that's so scary.
It was literally terrifying. I was like, if I hadn't pulled over, I could have been really hurt. So very glad that I was like, fuck it, I'll work because
Right, right. Oh my
terrifying.
god.
I
Yeah.
also have a fear of semis. If
I
anything, I have a little bit of a similar story. Is that it was
mm-hmm.
a few months ago, and I remember I went to go get my ID because I needed it for an interview I was gonna do, and I think it was God's way of telling me that this job interview wasn't gonna work out because after we picked up the ID, we also got stopped by a cop. We went like 3 miles over the limit,
Mm-hmm.
which was dumb. But they were sitting in the middle of the road, literally like just speed gunning people, and it was really dumb. But
Yeah.
we were on the highway. We're going over to where we needed to go for the interview, and there was a crash that just happened right in front of us because you could see the car swerving out of the way, and we're on a busy highway where a lot of like 18-wheelers come in, you
Yeah.
know, because there's a bunch of like plant production like down the road. And oh my god, I remember this truck was like almost right behind us, and everybody was swerving out of the way. Literally, we were like not that far from the crash in front of us, and my
Mm-hmm.
mom had to swerve. But there was also cars speeding next to us, so she was like trying to find the right time, but also like find the right moment to go, even if she would have to hit another car because the 18-wheeler behind us slammed on their brakes. And she said you could see in the rearview mirror the smoke of the skidding tires right
Oh
behind us.
wow.
And we moved out of the way, but I remember seeing he stopped right behind the car that was in front of us because if my mom and I stayed there, we would have been like squished like
Yeah.
a soda can in between those cars and the 18-wheeler. And oh my god, I remember I was like, I think that's the universe telling us something. And it didn't work out. Like I said.
Yeah, that's definitely somebody was
Uh-uh.
definitely looking out for you. Yeah, because
Crazy.
I remember telling my mom, like I texted my mom and my sister, I was like, the craziest shit just happened. And I was like, somebody somewhere was looking out for me because
They really were.
They just saved
That's
my life.
that was insane.
They were
Wow.
like whispering in my ear. They were like, "Pull over. You want to work? You want to work?"
Yeah,
And I was like, "Yeah,
no.
I think I want to work. I'll work."
They were trying to convince you to like, hey, you need to work because I'm trying to
Yeah,
get you to die today.
I don't want to see you that soon. Like, I need you to pull over. But yeah,
Dang.
somebody was definitely looking out for both y'all as well, because if the truck stopped that close, yeah, y'all definitely would have been squished.
Oh my goodness.
That's terrifying. Semis are, oh my god, they're
Semis are
terrifying.
scary, man.
They
And
really are. I
like,
hate driving next to them. I always like slow down or speed up if I can to pass them. I'm like, I'm not
yeah.
driving next to you.
Mm-mm.
So much shit can happen. When I learned that their tires can like just burst with no
Yes.
reason, I
Yep.
have refused, like, I refused to drive next to them before, but like now I make sure. I am so fucking far.
Yeah,
I get
no.
so scared.
I'm terrified. I used to never be like scared to drive next to semis or like in front or behind of them. But I recently had, so I used to go to a church like when I was super young, and the pastor and his wife used to be like super, like I had a really close relationship with them. They were like family, and we lost contact with them for a good amount of years, like maybe like 10 years. Um
Mhm.
and I recently learned, and I went to her funeral. I recently learned that the pastor's wife actually passed away. Um I found it weird that they wanted to do it a closed casket instead of open casket, but I found out that she actually had an accident with a semi truck,
Oh,
and she got burns all over her body,
oh no.
because her car like was so squished, and like the semi had caught fire somehow, so like her, like she was trapped in there, so she couldn't get out. So after I learned that, I was like, I can't, like I get anxiety attacks with
Yeah.
like semis.
Mhm.
And I remember this one time I was driving I was driving to go pick up my sister, and as I was getting into like, or I was getting off of the no, sorry, I was getting on the freeway. There was a semi that was also coming on from a different entrance,
Hmm.
and as I was getting closer, I guess they didn't notice me, so they like swerved into my lane, and I had to immediately swerve out of the way.
Oh
And as
goodness.
soon as that happened, like I started freaking out. Like back then my anxiety was just so bad that I
Yeah.
would literally start shaking and like
Mhm.
crying, and it was just that bad. So I pulled over and I stayed in the car for about, I want to say I stayed off of the, like on the shoulder for about maybe an hour, because it was just that bad. Like my anxiety was just going. And I remember my dad called and was like, "Hey, I noticed that like your location, it shows that you're not moving. Like, is everything okay?" And then I told him what happened, and he was like, "Oh my god, do I need to go pick you? Like, I'm on my way. I'm gonna go pick you up." And I was like, "No, no, no. Like, just give me a couple more minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll get
Mhm.
there at some point."
Oh, good. Just I just need
Yeah,
to sit here
just,
for a moment.
yeah, I was like, just give me some time. I just really need to like reflect,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I
But it was
remember.
definitely scary, man. Like
Yeah. No, semis
driving
are
like that.
terrifying. I remember because of I needed to take like 35 pretty much the highway like every time I left my ex's house to get back home.
Mhm.
And like there were so many times, because I mean like late at night is when like a lot of semis are on the road and shit like that. Like there were so many times that I was like having to like get onto the highway, and it was like a specific entrance that like merged into one lane, and the semis were always in that lane, and I remember like always being so terrified. I was like, maybe I'll get on the next one. I was just like, semis are just, they're big, and like in your mind like they can't slow down like cars can, and just have to be really careful. Like it's terrifying. So I'm glad that we're all okay with our semi experiences and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's super fun. But it's a
not at
part of
all.
life. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not fun at all, but it's part of life, and you got to learn how to deal with it. Um and hopefully everybody just, you know,
Yeah.
just be careful out there, guys. Just whenever you're driving, just, you know, make sure that there's no distractions. You know, don't text and drive.
Yeah,
Bad,
definitely.
very bad. Watch out for those semis. Definitely give
Yeah.
them some space so they,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
they have some
Definitely.
space to work with there. So,
Yeah, they need it.
whew. But yeah, it's one of those like experiences you have to go through at least once in your life. Sadly, but it's there.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah. Um and so the Powerpuff Babes are ending this episode here. Thank you all for allowing us to be part of your day. Once again, happy birthday to Betty White, and thank you, Mr. King, for strength and encouragement you still give us all today. Catch you on the next one.
Powerpuffs out.